March of the Machines, a poetic set preview. Ravnica, first plane to fall, but Paragon keeps standing tall. Ha! You missed, the crafter calls, but Intercessor climbed the walls. Heliod shines his light on all, Theros united, converted its halls. Elspeth shone like a sixth sun, a glorious sword on a hidden run. A sturdy kite sail once kept her safe, and now helps the pods on invasion waves. The bowler slinger still fights to resist, the twin beacon Valkyries here to assist. And with one swift stroke poor Temio fell, while Dust Legion duelists keeps himself well. We came here to Ixalan for some blood. Let's see what these bloody machines have got. I beg your pardon, mindless scum. New Phyrexia has begun. So said Ilishnorn, and then she cried, with Elspeth's glorious sword inside. Bond wardens endure life, battle and death, and Joas got wings to keep his breath. A guardian, a bulwark against the machines, but no one saved Heliod in between. He finally became the warped eclipse, a wisp of completion on his lips. Gobakan's stand was well respected, but sadly their shield mage became infected. Zalfir's Sheller led the charge, to Belenon's battle a fiercely march. The Belenon war anthem, mighty and hoary, a vessel for wind, for justice and glory. No one invades Dominaria plain, as long as the faith keeper's not insane. And mentioned before, Gobakan's stand was not given easily out of hand. A light-shielded array kept the secure, and lasted a very long time for sure. Invasion of Theros, land of the gods, Epharra's shelter lowered the odds. When the sun falters and seas disperse, the wilds wither and the forges go cold. Death itself succumbs. This poem loses its rhyme. She endures. Brave Kitkin strikes twice to stop the invasion. Benalia assists without suasion. Knight-errant of Eos joins the fight, and two of his friends might step in his sight. Cor Hellbeard forges an ancient weapon, one path, many feet, many mights to step in. The Inquisitors of Elishnorn, on their behalf, new Phyrexians are born. The censor is Professor Pitnick no more. He trashes the tomes of ancient lore. A Phyrexian cat transforms them all, and Rambreaker's grasp turns will into wall. Bim keeps the nerves to fool the aggressors, but they seal existences, true oppressors. To Capenna angels, a vow is a vow. To Phyrexian angels, perfection is now. Alara's knights will also stand strong, but sun-blessed guardians are now gone. Sunder the gates, proceed the march. Heliod stands, perfected and large. Let light scour away your imperfect flesh. Your search of salvation's about to crash. But cavaliers pick up the courtesy fight. So do the shapers of Dune until night, until they're perfected by invaders' might, last not lead, carried by teller knights. Little they know, war rhinos will join the war, and artistic refusals a groin. That's helpful to Errant and New Capenna. that helps in the assimilation dilemma. Spread your wings, astral and white, and better hold tight the captive inside, 'cause when he breaks out, he's about to conjure a spell that will change the equation for sure. Phyrexians even have flying sharks, complete the circuit and gain the spark. You can't even trust Tovashi no more. Disturbing conversions will settle the score. If ours dispersal might buy us some time, and skilled merfolk rogues survive just fine, the eyes of Gitaxis bring Aken true sight, and Tutor was champion, fought fairly and right. Where had she first seen that symbol of old? The Innistrad stitch, just like they were told. Acavia's spellbooks are really no fake. No profs, no grades, no room for mistakes. Invasion of Kamigawa was stopped by Moonfork ninjas on the rooftop. Segovia lies down under the sea, and Cetus the tyrant just gave them the shrieks. Afterwards came the invasion of Rin, but Garth's mage ring blowout was to begin. Silence. Gitaxius was no joke. His great synthesis was what he foretold. Niambi suggests to ask for help, and Elspeth will grant it, no need to yelp. Mel freed Ajani, an ultimate prize, and Selimgard's brood was about to rise. Stefano was flummoxed by nightmarish scenes, so as this poor human wizard, it seems. Katrina as well, black oil and machines, and she was turned into one, joining the stream, unnoticed in Kylim by Valor's reach. But protocol knights ran out to teach Phyrexians a lesson about ingress and writ. But Rona, the herald, did not care one bit. And this no Tolarian could ever permit. Good luck getting through my proxy ward, and take double spells without regard. With her beloved falcon she once explored, now she guides oil worldwide on its course. Glitches in mage rings as Rin's defense. Now's no good time, your mind will be cleansed. As all seems lost, came the griffin riders, and tidal terrors stood beside us. Ren and Teferi, a touch of eternal. To wicked slumber we sent the external. On Ceres, realities already bent. Guided of singers, skywards they went. A Selphrian shapecraft, a final strike, an etherblade agent extracting the night. Chrome host Stinger, his final fate. The archpriest of shadows returns the state of living and lasting to battle once more. Ayara came out of her castle's door, and on her balcony sees the end, and still no cherish for those who bend. Pick up the fan and cut their tentacles. The oil lust of mud creep puts him to shackles. Then one day he felt pretty funny. The bloated processor was kind of his mummy. All worlds will know perfection sometime. Collective nightmares in everyone's mind. Perfection even for Lorwyn's elves, but Etherborn's feed on essence itself. Corrupted conviction in a journey's name. A deadly derision, Daretti plays games. A drag recycler picks up all that faith. Phyresis and died, no coffin nails. No refunds, no mercy, familiar etched. Doombringer brings doom to the terrible wretched. More value for those conversions that fail. A final flourish for hopes prevail. The flitting guerrillas fly brave and fast, but gifts of completion will find them at last. The oil lets Icoria's monsters drown, and Gloomfang maulers cry terrible sounds. Phyrexia rises with samurai lords, and brood lords will have many spells to hoard. Phyrexian vampire, undead times two, and Olvada's dead bathed in oil rice too. Invasion of Eldraine, the fairy tale land, prickling fairies about to withstand. Invasion of Fiora, a funeral pact. Marchesa, the resolute monarch reacts. Invasion of Innistrad, howls in the night. Innistrad zombies will rise with delight. Invasion of Ulgrothar, ancient land, and grandmother Ravi's return comes to hand. Merciless tearing of Urabra's limbs, Elishnorn's head torn, likewise grim. Freedom of wheels was the goal of his life. Freedom of wheels, now a distasteful strife. A new gang's in town, go tell the boss. Six-skinned mages, a terrible loss. Pile on, go down the cliff. Rendered inert, completed and stiff. Let's taste the blood of Sir Rolf himself. Sheoldred looks like a motorized elf, but her final scriptures are honestly grim. Destroys all the creatures and brings them back in. Phyrexians got wizards they cast with oil, causing more traumas on their road of spoil. Amonkhet waits with some graves to unseal. Capenna awaits the great angels reveal. The Aki's potential is being chaotic. The beatstick's potential is being despotic. The Bloodfeather's phoenix not stopped by a killing. The Ixalan's dinosaur's roar seems so thrilling. And finally, Chandra brings hope as a torch, coming in hot without being scorched. The city on fire, the war on its rage. Italy the conqueror getting engaged, spreading contagion and causing the quakes. Feeling X-cuts from the berserker mates. Even the gremlins became complete, so did the giants, hard to defeat. So did by rains the Minotaur's mines, and Hangar's scroungers scream while they grind. Lindus gathered his wings and fled, but then he reached perfection instead. Chandra and Ren, into the fire, invasion of Kaldheim, Phyrexian desire. The soul of the world burning up high, invasion of Karsus, the air cold and dry. Avenging Colossus strikes down the machines. Mercadian resistance, pointless it seems, until Chiron Flamerite, inspired by Squee, are using their magecraft to strive against thee. Invasion of Regatta, flaming hot, the disciples melt, the machines to stop. Invasion of Tarkia, draconic events, a thundermore storm will bring it to end. His roar of defiance echoes along. The Kendra spellspears tried to hold on, but to the Gitaxians he now belongs. Nahiri's rage tries to shatter the strong, but even the pirate ships all turned wrong. The Miran Banespitters ready to kill. Nahiri breaks Zendikar at her will. 2 damage to target player or battle. A piratic prankster is here for the rattle. And then he finds out the symbol's true meaning, with oil-soaked claws, cruel and gleaming. But Ral's reinforcements will save the day. A great sword with trample will help on their way. A rampaging raptor does rampage as well, and Redcap Rogue brings their heels through hell. Say that to my fist, you bloated rust bucket. Searingly sharp, his barb comes to pluck it. Nahiri again to shatter the source, and Shivan Branch Burner has brutal force. A scorching rebuke for the invaders, a thrashing frontliner for the raiders, a keen student on a trailblazing escape. A big bad predator arrives to reshape his great work to memorize cruelty well, volcanic spite, an Asgol spell. The end is nigh, let's have some fun. The Wolverine dinos already begun. Ren's resolve, a resolute cast. The ancient dinosaurs thrashing at last. Rankles pests, a delicious meal. Atraxas fall, nothing to heal. Blighted burgeoning, blighted hopes. Eluda bonds, connection that copes. With most, but not with one great work, the jumping Kavu, for most unheard. Unheard like the gurgles of glistening oil, where copper host brushers start to roil. Their cosmic hunger surpassed by coma, but carapace shields with crystal chroma. The deep-root wayfinder warns her plain. The doomscar warrior fights for the same. Lorwins know how to stand the dark. Spread and conquer, the landscape turns dark. The Hagi trolls killed every runner. They turned them into laser gunners. These flowers are very... What is this? How dare you? Could you miss the bliss? Invasion of the lands of beast. Zilorta calm, it was not ceased. Invasion of the Dino land, trampling, biting, wild and grand. Muragenda fights with fears, consumed by ooze, the path is pierced. Chandela, it was not spared, but stripped away Phyrexian cares. In Zendikar the sky turned weird. Awakened skyclaves, what they feared. Her arm and spirit, halo flow. A kami of the whispered hopes, a well-known specimen on the run, a crystal glistening in green sun, a fungus rabbit for Phyrexian roots, a reborn hydra for remaining food, Phyrexian hydra, engine of ruin, a satire, first to track down the runes, a converter beast ends up as snack, a sandstalker Moloch has spikes on his back, monument of Ren, seed of hope. Khartoum was never yours to grope. Storm the seed core with Mirrodin's brave. Shields go strong for Phyrexians who lave. Vivian and Vadrok take down as tandem. A tangled skyline as fate's memorandum. Timberland ancients, old and aware, and Izika cries in her world tree's care. Vengeant earth, Zendikar's royal, Vorinclex saw that his world has been spoiled, and tries to renew it with grand evolution. The carnivore veteran fights revolution. Performance still going, wandering wary. A wildwood escort to help fight the scary. Realmbreaker tamed by no other than Ren. Baral and Karizeth team up against Phyrexia, Mage, Pirate and Monkey. A Cyclops homunculus team, kind of funky. Botanical brawler likes something to count. Dieru and Hazoret enjoy the sound of flames and battle that cheer up the night. Drana, Linvala, together they fight, and take all their enemies' options away. Phyrexian elf makes Phyrexians that slay. Errant and Giada, wings and flash. Vampires, dinos, life gain and crash. Glissa, the lord of the incubation. Halo surpasses the expectation. Ogre, dragon, flames and storm. Inga, Isika, cheerful and warm. The invasion of Alara took place. Awoken the maelstrom, the final ace. Invasion of Amonkhet, gods all alone. A zombie convert was finally brought home. Invasion of Asgol, the plane of hell. The Ashen Reapers, a hateful spell. Invasion of Ergamon, beasts with his beasts. The homeland once crushed them and brought plains relief. Invasion of Kaladesh's Aetherflux pool. Saheeli's own pterodon looks kind of cool. Invasion of Kylene, all through the breach. But Valor's Reach tag team serves 2 strikes each. Invasion of Lorwyn, plain of the elves. The winnowing forces protecting themselves. Invasion of Moak, the dryads alarmed. With shield of the summer they're probably armed. Invasion of New Capenna for once. The Halo stockpile empowers the guns. Invasion of New Phyrexia's here. Teferi at frontline, things get sincere. It's invasion of Pyrulia time, and here comes a slaphorn whose slaps are a crime. Invasion of Tolvada, ghosts on the loose. They fuel the sky like greenish war juice. Invasion of Xerix with bugs and worms. The vertex paladin strikes like a storm. Storm for the sculpture that's full of joy. The ape and the turtle, 2 get-along boys. Croxa and Kuno, fury and teeth. The marshal of Zalfir commands on the heath. Phyrexians saw the reflections and paused. The curious minds is the downfall's cause. Behold the Omnath, locus of all. Quintorius' law brings titans to fall. Phyrexians crushed by a rampaging beast. Rankle and Torbran are leaving deceased. The sculpted perfection empowers invaders. Spilled oil and crushed metal, that's left of the raiders. Thalia and Gitrog, beast and beauty. Yargle, Multani, wooden and cutie. Simon and Dina, casting together. Oyutai and Zorgo bring clawful weather. The flywheel racer outruns the might. The halo hopper was brought to light. For dodging stampedes, a kite sails to use. 1 loud breath, and it is what you lose. Realmbreaker called the invasion tree. The skittering surveyors about to run free. Future and past you are witness to see. The blood-filled caves are no place to be. A hideous mockery of life in the sands. Invasion of trees' branches, a clouded brand. Oil will glisten, old bones start to stir. Phyrexian infection, the royals start to slur. Oil-seeping crystals, mutations metallic. Gataxian urge for Kaladesh relics. Eye-like appendages twined in the lights. A tranquil cove of oil in the night. Symbols of rot on a wind-scarred crag. Abandoned plains turned cloudy and black. A portal of plains is stirring the sea. Sky over swarms, all hopes start to flee. Sky over mountains, no better at all. Sky over forests, the whole start to sprawl. Phyrexians bring their own kind of essence. Phyrexian Pegasus, a dreadful presence. A lullaby meant only for the machines. A mascot meant for those who redeem. Stop it, this is your time to stand still. The roiling cloudscape wins to my will. The perfect crocodile lies in the river. Seer of stolen sight, true giver. Takumi the terror, he buried a lot. And Skodrak is helping with treasures to spot. The crack-smashed Yeti looks kind of surprised. Likewise his enemies, melting like ice. What is that horrible flesh noise so near? Not from this world, but tasty, my dear. 2 titans of Tarkir carved in a swathe, and now there's goodbye, my hand starts to wave.